So, Jerry here.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello. Leonard, you've said many times, how do you live in a world of unconscious people or people that aren't present? And I find increasingly that I'm less interested in things of the world, less interested in what seems to be of interest to the majority of people. And sometimes I get an anxiety about that because I feel myself pulling back and pulling away and wanting to be on retreat. I'm just wondering if you personally have, how do you manage that, living in this world of so many people that aren't present? And how do you personally manage that? I'd be interested if you wish to share that.
I would say I can answer you in one word: effortlessly. In other words, I don't really think about it. I'm just true to myself. I very much enjoy being around other people who are present. I don't even mind being around people who are not present. You see, it's only my judgment of them that would cause me a difficulty. But if being around someone who's not present or who's unconscious is in any way distracting me or doesn't feel comfortable, it's not what I want to be around, it's too simple. I'm not around it. I just leave. It's really uncomplicated. You see, when you're present, truly present and awake, you are an empowered being. And an empowered being essentially lives with two different aspects running. One is responsively. So one who is awake and present and empowered is simply responsive to the moment, which is as simple as, I feel hungry, I respond by eating. I feel thirsty, I respond by drinking. I feel lonely, I respond by calling a friend. I feel overwhelmed by the company that's here, I respond by leaving. Or I might respond by saying, can everyone be present? Or whatever, it doesn't really matter. That's one aspect. You live an awakened life responsively. And there's nothing really limiting or inhibiting your responsiveness. The other aspect to it, in the context of living an awakened life, is that one who is awake is empowered, and one who is empowered knows what he wants, and knows what he doesn't want, expresses it very clearly and lovingly without attachment to the outcome. So I know what I want, I know what I don't want. It's not complicated. I don't even really need to think very much about it. I know I don't have any right to impose what I want on others. That goes with the territory. But I also have the right to remove myself from any situation I don't want to be in. It's really simple. But what messes it all up is our tendency to get lost in each other. I need your approval. Am I doing the right thing? What do you think of me? Am I going to hurt your feelings? Will you judge me? Am I judging you? All these things just make it all so messy, whereas you're actually a free being. That's the beautiful news. Everyone is a free being. But to the extent that you're caught in your mind, you're not a free being. To the extent you're caught in your past or future, you're not a free being. You're actually in bondage. You're in bondage to your past, you're in bondage to your parents, you're in bondage to all those emotional wounds and traumas, you're in bondage to all the limiting beliefs that formed in your early childhood. It's not okay to be myself. There's not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not loved. I'm not wanted. You're in bondage to all these things when you're living fundamentally within the mind and ego. And not only are you in bondage, not only are you in a sense imprisoned within the mind, but there is a very, very effective prison warden. And that prison warden doesn't have very much interest in releasing you on parole. The prison warden, of course, is your own ego. And it doesn't really want you coming out of the prison. It's not safe out there, says the prison warden. You don't want to go out there. Stay in my prison where I'm running the show, says the ego. But it's painful here. I'm full of judgment here, full of wound and suffering here. Doesn't matter, says the ego, I'll take care of it. That's my job. But it's really beautiful out there. I can see through the window. It's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's loving. No problems out there. Don't you pay attention to that. Come quickly back into the problems, the issues. Can't have you becoming present, says the ego. You are my prisoner. Now, of course, I don't want to vilify the ego, because anyone who knows this teaching well knows that I recommend coming into right relationship with the ego at every level. The ego is not the enemy, but it is the prison warden. Until you free yourself, or until it actually allows you to be released. And it will only allow you to be released when it trusts the flowering of presence arising from within. And it knows, you can't fool the ego. The more it can feel the flowering of presence arising from within, the true master arising from within, then the ego will begin to entertain the possibility of unlocking the prison gates and setting you free.